Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. J.J. Redick was hired as the Lakers coach, even though he had no previous experience with other teams. He had a good regular season, but at the end of the regular season he removed some players from the rotation, such as Dalton Netsch, who is a good shooter and could help the Lakers. In the playoffs, they made some mistakes, such as playing without a center, giving the starting players a little rest, who arrived at the last quarter of the game exhausted. Fans and some NBA analysts are calling for J.J. Redick to leave and for the Lakers to hire a more experienced coach. In Game 5 on Wednesday night, the Los Angeles Lakers suffered a 7-point loss against the Minnesota Timberwolves. With this loss, the Lakers' season officially comes to an end as the Timberwolves won the series 4-1. This loss also marks the end of J.J. Redick's first year as the Lakers head coach. During his first season with the team, he coached the Lakers to a 50-32 record and earned the number 3 seed in the Western Conference. However, despite LeBron James and Luka Doncic leading the way, the Lakers suffered a first-round playoff exit for the second straight season. Following the Lakers' disappointing end to their season, some have wondered about what the future holds for Redick, and a new report recently surfaced that provides a lot more clarity. Despite a bit of an up-and-down season, Redick showed a lot of promise in his first year as a head coach. At just 40 years old, he is one of the youngest coaches in the NBA and still has a lot of room to grow. Because of this, it is reportedly likely that the Lakers will retain Redick in the offseason. "I would be shocked if J.J. Redick is not back as the Lakers coach," Buha said. And again, I think a week ago, people were singing his praises. "I understand the criticism. I understand the backlash, but I still think J.J. is a good young coach with a lot of potential, and some things he should learn from this series." With James and Doncic on the team together, the Lakers have a lot of intrigue, but it is safe to say they will make some changes in the offseason. As it stands, however, it does not appear that Redick will be a part of those changes. Brian Windhorst calls out J.J. Redick after loss in playoffs. The Los Angeles Lakers season has officially come to an end. The Minnesota Timberwolves were the best team on the court in 4 out of their 5 meetings, and it wasn't particularly close. Granted, the Lakers may have never had a championship-caliber team to begin with, but it was still an ugly outing for the number 3 seed in the Western Conference. Notably, that's why Brian Windhorst ripped J.J. Redick on ESPN's Get Up, via awful announcing. "I don't mean this in a personal way, J.J. Redick coached immaturely in this series," Windhorst said. He was still seething and upset about the previous games to the point where Reggie Miller said on the broadcast last night he had to try to calm him down in the pre-game meeting because J.J. was acting, frankly, childishly. Following the elimination, Windhorst pointed out that the Lakers roster wasn't as good. He also stated that they didn't get the best out of their star players, as LeBron James looked gassed, Luka Doncic struggled with an illness, and Austin Reeves was a non-factor. Still, he thinks this was mostly on the coach. Windhorst revealed that Reggie Miller had to calm down Redick in his pre-game availability because he was acting childishly, adding that storming out of a presser wasn't a good way to start. Then, instead of making adjustments, he doubled down on his decision not to make substitutions in the second half of either of the last 2 games. Windhorst called that approach irrational, and he wondered why he would play Maxi Kleber, who hadn't played in 3 months and hadn't even practiced with the Lakers, ahead of the big men he already had on the roster. To close out his statement, Windhorst said that Redick will eventually realize that he didn't put his team in a position to win with this stubborn approach. Everyone said the same thing about J.J. Redick's challenge to Lakers. Los Angeles Lakers coach J.J. Redick offered something of a challenge to his players on Thursday that everyone immediately took to mean one thing. Redick addressed the media at an end-of-season press conference Thursday, one day after his Lakers were eliminated from the playoffs by the Minnesota Timberwolves. The coach emphasized that a major focus for the Lakers roster should be to get in championship shape during the offseason. While Redick did not name names, pretty much everyone assumed he was at least partially alluding to Luka Doncic. Some even made reference to Dallas Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison, as Doncic's conditioning was thought to be a key factor in the decision to trade Doncic to the Lakers. The concerns about Doncic's conditioning go back years. The Lakers are aware of that, but think that they have ways of getting him to commit to healthier habits. Even if Doncic is not the sole focus of Redick's comment, though, it's hard to imagine Redick did not have him in mind at least a little bit when sharing it. To be fair to Doncic, some of the issues he encountered in the playoffs were not down to conditioning. He battled through Game 3 of the Lakers' first-round series while seriously ill, and he suffered a back injury that clearly impacted him in Game 5. Doncic averaged 35.1 minutes per game after being dealt to the Lakers, with the number rising to 41.6 minutes per game in the series against Minnesota. For better or worse, Redick demonstrated during that series that he prefers to ride his key players hard in big games, and Doncic might have some work to do in order to live up to those expectations. George Karl slams Lakers, J.J. Redick following surprising playoff exit. The Los Angeles Lakers' 2024-25 season ended Wednesday night when the Minnesota Timberwolves defeated them in 5 games. The Lakers were outmatched by the more physical, bigger, and explosive Timberwolves team. Entering the series, the Lakers were the favorites, but the Timberwolves proved to be too much for LA, who were punished by Minnesota big time. The Lakers' shortcomings in size and physicality ultimately doomed a team that entered the postseason with lofty expectations. As the franchise prepares to turn the page, others around the league haven't hesitated to poke fun at LA's early exit, including former NBA Coach of the Year George Karl. Following the Lakers' elimination, Karl took to X and fired off a jab aimed at both the team and J.J. Redick, continuing a trend he's become known for on social media. "Maybe previous coaching experience does matter to be a head coach in the NBA," said Karl. This is the first of many times Karl has taken a dig at the Lakers. Karl rushes to X more often than not to give his take on the Lakers, and it is normally negative. This time, he targeted Redick, who had just completed his first-ever season coaching. Redick was under the microscope from the start, considering he is coaching the Lakers and his lack of previous coaching experience. That was the worry with many entering this season, and for many, that reared its ugly head this series. The Lakers are heading home early this postseason for many reasons, and many will shift that blame on Redick. When it was all said and done, Redick did what he could with the pieces he had. The Lakers' roster had clear flaws, and while they showed flashes of brilliance throughout the season, sustaining that level took an enormous amount of effort, ultimately proving too difficult to manage for a small Lakers team. Sure, there were opportunities for Redick to make further adjustments, but given the hand he was dealt, he did his best to navigate an imperfect situation. While this series certainly wasn't Redick's finest work, there is no doubt that he will be at the helm for LA next season and possibly beyond, barring anything catastrophic. Charles Barkley points out what J.J. Redick got wrong playing LeBron James as a center. When the Lakers traded for Luka Doncic in early February, there was a clear understanding that the Lakers were perhaps punting their 2024-25 season in an attempt to secure long-term stability. After all, they had a good thing going on with Anthony Davis and LeBron James under head coach J.J. Redick. The team had put together a great run of results in the days leading up to the Doncic trade. However, it was abundantly clear even at that time that the Lakers' roster had a lot of holes requiring filling. But when Doncic and James went on a run of good results, including wins over Denver and OKC, people looked past these gaps on their roster and proclaimed them to be true contenders. Despite the Lakers' patchy run during the final few weeks of the regular season, this perception remained. Redick's decision to play small ball took a big hit during the first few games of the series. Yet, the rookie head coach remained steadfast in his decision to use LeBron James as his center. Jackson Hayes, who started the first 4 games, saw no playing time in this win-or-go-home game. James had already shown signs of fatigue during the clutch periods of Games 3 and 4. It came to the fore during their elimination game as well. Charles Barkley had been singled out as an outspoken critic of the team because of his negative outlook during the regular season. When he pointed out that the Lakers had only played a few hot weeks, Barkley got a lot of heat. Even though he was vindicated by the Lakers' play, the Hall of Famer opted to stay above board in his critique. Speaking on Redick's decision not to play Hayes, Barkley deemed it a foolhardy one. He shouldn't have played a 40-year-old guy at center. LeBron had nothing tonight. He was just settling for jump shots. He went to the basket a couple of times, but he settled for jump shots. I think when guys settle for jump shots, that's fatigue. Charles Barkley went off on Luka Doncic and LeBron James. During the same post-game segment, Barkley continued to pile on the Lakers' lack of athleticism and defense. The 1992-93 NBA MVP harped on their inability to stop top perimeter stars from scoring. While he admitted that the Lakers could have done better with Mark Williams, he also said there were more issues. According to Barkley, the Lakers' best players Luka Doncic and LeBron James can't guard anyone. Number 1, they've got to get some more athletic ability. They can't guard anybody. So they're gonna have to find somebody to cover for LeBron and Luka defensively. 'Cause LeBron doesn't play defense anymore, Luka can't guard a chair. You're gonna have Wilt, Kareem and Bill Russell back there blocking shots if they're gonna keep anybody in front of him. Charles Barkley blasted LeBron James and Luka Doncic's defensive abilities. On the whole, Barkley's point has been validated by the Lakers' late-game defense. While James has been great at rotating over on occasions for help defense, he hasn't had a motor to match his opponents. Rudy Gobert, his opposite number at the center position, had the best game of his playoff career. Gobert compiled 27 points, 24 rebounds, and dominated the paint on both ends of the floor. James also conceded quite a few backdoor cuts. Although he racked up highlights blocking the likes of Dante DiVincenzo and Anthony Edwards, these plays were few and far between. The Lakers definitely need a defensively sturdy center to navigate playoff runs against the loaded Western Conference. LeBron James leaving Lakers not ruled out. According to Sam Amick and Jovan Buha of The Athletic, LeBron James leaving the Los Angeles Lakers has not been ruled out. James has a player option for next season. So, might James think about finishing his career elsewhere in pursuit of a fifth ring? When posed that question, both league sources close to James and team sources would not rule that possibility out. And that was before the revealing elimination game, Amick and Buha wrote. James is 40 years old. He's the oldest active player in the NBA. The leading scorer of all time averaged 24.4 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 8.2 assists during the 2024-25 regular season. The Lakers lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round of the playoffs despite having James and Luka Doncic. You don't know what the Lakers roster will look like next year besides the guys that are locked into contracts, James said. I got a lot to think about myself. So I don't know what the roster will look like. I don't know where I stand right now. James joined the Lakers in 2018. Los Angeles missed the playoffs in 2019, won the title in 2020, lost in the first round in 2021, missed the playoffs in 2022, lost in the conference finals in 2023, lost in the first round in 2024 and lost in the first round in 2025. For me, since my first NBA Finals appearance in 2007, the moment I got an opportunity to be a part of that and taste that feeling, from there on, every season that I did not make it to the finals or did not win the championship has been a disappointment, James said. So, it will be an off-season of disappointment and unfulfillment. James is a 4-time MVP, a 4-time champion and a 4-time Finals MVP. He's played for the Cleveland Cavaliers, twice, Miami Heat and Lakers. James turns 41 in December. LeBron James praises J.J. Redick for first season with Lakers. J.J. Redick was seen as a risky hire when the Los Angeles Lakers first decided to name him head coach of the franchise. He had zero prior coaching experience, and many were worried about his ability to lead a team with LeBron James, both a friend and someone his exact age, without losing the locker room like previous coaches had. But it became clear very quickly that Redick knew what he was doing. During bad stretches at the beginning of the season, James and other players were frequently saying that Redick had them prepared and that they simply weren't executing, a high show of respect for their coach. Redick also had to redefine the overall identity of the team 3 different times during the year as the Lakers made major trades. And while the end result was a first-round loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves in 5 games, and Redick was far from perfect in the playoffs, it's clear the Lakers roster, not coaching, is what needs a touch-up. LeBron gave his thoughts on Redick's rookie campaign as the head coach of the Lakers and why he applauds him for what he did throughout the year. "I think JJ is going to continue to grow," James said. "I thought he had a hell of a rookie campaign for a rookie coach. It's a lot different being a rookie coach. It's already hard being a rookie coach in the NBA. And it's a hell of a lot harder being a rookie head coach coaching the Lakers. It's a whole other ballgame. And I thought he handled it extremely well."